ECSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
Excuse me, Mr. DJ.
Hey, check this out. We got a great show coming your way.
From the ECSI Sports Studios, it's the Midday Market Report with Jeff Dawson.
Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. Yes, we're back, and we got one more after this, so stay tuned. Add some coffee, grab another bagel, a donut, get your Thanksgiving feast ready. Matt Grissom at Grissom on X at NCAA Insiders with us on November 26th. It's Wednesday, a day early, as Thanksgiving, of course, is tomorrow for the Midday Market Report. We're going to talk coaching carousel, breaking news where Matt's going to start us with. A surprise in stores as Jim Mora heads to Colorado State. Me and Matt were talking backstage about that potential lateral move there. What's going on with Lane Kiffin as LSU thinks he's coming there? No, Florida thinks he's coming there. No, Ole Miss thinks he's staying there. So a lot to talk about. But first and foremost, a shout out to our proud sponsors and partnerships. It's WagerWire. Head on over to Google Play. Download the app. It is free. Travis, Zach, Guy, myself, Amber, Holly, Carol, Bucks, Alan, Matt, Drew, Jacob. The list is endless. Come on down. Enjoy us for the rest of 2025, and I guarantee you 2026 will be epic. And of course, AtlantaSteaksAndSeafood.com. Terry Smith, the best in the business. I know you've heard of Omaha, Butcher Block. Trust me on this. AtlantaSteaksAndSeafood.com. Steaks, seafood, chops, appetizers, wine. Terry's got it all. Just call him up. Go to the website. Plan your party around his product. You won't be... What's the word I'm looking for? I was going to say, you won't be surprised. You will be in heaven. Trust me on that. So without further ado, let's bring him in. Mr. Matt Grissom. What's up, Matty?
Good morning, Jeffrey. As I teased on Twitter, a little breaking news here in the coaching carousel, which I said we'd get to in a little bit. It looks like Arkansas is finalizing a deal to make South Florida head coach Alex Golesh the next football coach of the Razorbacks. I'll save my reactions for a later time, but I guess it's better than Bobby Petrino at this point.
It's not the splash that you were hoping.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of said, obviously you didn't want Jim Mora, as I said in the intro. He goes to Colorado State. Franklin now at Virginia Tech. Oklahoma State has found their man. And then, of course, the big question, where is Lane going? And I played some scenarios back there. But the coaching carousel, where these coaches have landed, talk about them. Surprised, not surprised. Obviously, you're not doing cartwheels about the Arkansas move either.
So I guess the thing about it is South Florida was a really bad team when Golesh took it over. And they've had some excitement this year. I even looked at one point like they were the going to be the Group of Five playoff team. Kind of fell off track a little bit with a couple losses down the stretch. But overall, he's done a great job there. I do think it's a little different recruiting to Fayetteville, Arkansas versus Tampa, Florida. And all of the resources, I don't know where his head coaching background is. I haven't taken a deep dive into him, but knowing where his recruiting hotbeds are, I know his wife is from Greenwood. So there's the Arkansas tie there, with Greenwood being about 30 minutes south of Fayetteville. So we'll see. Obviously, there's some excitement. There's some hesitation just anytime going through a 2-10 season and going through a coaching change, which unfortunately for Razorback fans, we've gone through. I guess this would be year or coaching search number 4 between Brett Bielema, Bobby Petrino, Chad Morris, and now Sam Pittman in just the last 10 years. So yeah, let's not run to the window and start betting on Arkansas football futures. I'll put it to you that way.
Is it because you can't even compete in that state? Meaning the Texases, the Texas A&Ms, the deep-pocketed people in Texas, and then you go down to Florida and those deep pockets. I know you guys got money, and trust me, are you not spending it in the nil? Are you not spending it in the right spot? What is the base of this problem?
I think it's Arkansas. So recruiting here is tough. We don't have a lot of high school talent. In the talent that we do get, they either grow up a diehard Razorback fan and want to play for the university, or they want to do what's best for them, where they can go pro, where they can go make more NIL. And so you're getting cherry picked from your LSUs, your Texas, your Missouri even comes in, and Drinkwitz being from Arkansas, he steals a lot of guys too. And I think overall that's where the biggest struggle is for Arkansas, is we can't just make up a team with all in-state talent. So where do you go? Do you go now and compete with Missouri or Louisiana and compete with LSU, Texas, Oklahoma, which Tulsa's like 45 minutes from Fayetteville? Everywhere that we're trying to get into the vicinity, you've got another really good team. I mean, you've got Oklahoma, you've got Missouri, you've got Texas A&M, who's hitting the Dallas area. You've got SMU, and all these guys like Rhett Lashley, Arkansas ties. Eli Drinkwitz, Arkansas ties. Mike Norvell in Florida State, Arkansas ties. So not only are you not getting enough talent in the state, you have all these other coaches at better schools pulling that talent, the top talent, out of the state. I don't know what you do. I don't know where you go to get talent. It's all got to be portal. Maybe we need a East Coast guy that can go up and recruit PA. I don't know. But hopefully Golish can, rattle off 6 or 7 wins and get the fans motivated again.
We talked last week. We've talked the last few weeks about Lane Kiffin. He's kind of holding a couple teams hostage. Basically, Ole Miss asked that before Friday's game against Mississippi State, can you give us an answer? Are you leaving? Where you going? So you don't leave us dry, and he couldn't even say that. And the fact of the matter is, like Jim Mora leaving UConn, I assume Jim won't be coaching that bowl game. And now for Lane here, the committee has a big decision. Meaning, if Lane decides, hey, he wins tomorrow, and I'm leaving, well, who's coaching them in the tournament? Or if he loses tomorrow, and then he says, well, I'm leaving, do they now put an Ole Miss team in without their head coach? He's holding the world hostage here, Matt.
Yeah. And whether he's doing it on purpose or not, who knows? I'm a believer in Lane. I like Lane Kiffin. I don't think that I don't think this is an easy decision for him, but I still think in the back of my mind, he is going to stay at Ole Miss. It's either Ole Miss or LSU, and I think it's about 60-40. 60% he's staying at Ole Miss, 40% he goes to LSU. Uh, I don't see taking over Florida at this point. The only reason I think he would even flirt with the idea of LSU is because his daughter would probably transfer there, which I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm not going to be surprised if they come out and say that Lane's staying at Ole Miss.
It's rivalry week. So many good games. So much depends on certain situations. You've been waiting all year for this A&M team to puke on themselves. You had it 2 weeks ago, down 30-3. They rally back and win the game 31-30. 2-point favorites against Texas. Arch and company put up 52 last weekend. Kind of one of these, if they defeat the undefeated team. I was talking last show. Listen, they lose at Ohio State. They lose at Georgia. They beat the unbeatens. Is there still hope in Longhorn country, or does A&M just stiff arm them and they go in undefeated?
I think this is going to be the toughest defense that A&M has faced. I don't think that if this turns into a shootout, Texas is going to be able to replicate what they did to one of the bottom defenses in the country in Arkansas last week. I kept seeing the flashes on ESPN. Oh, Arch Manning 17 of 17 for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. I'm like, yeah, the Razorbacks are 136th in defense. Like, he should be.
So are you saying the Aggies win?
I think the Aggies have a 4-leaf clover up their rear end. Not saying that they didn't deserve it, but how in the world do you come back against South Carolina? Like, that is Shane Beamer. That is some Arkansas level collapse right there. I mean, that is Elite Eight up 20 at half and losing. Yeah, I don't know, but it would make too much sense for A&M to win and just be the undefeated SEC school. But I have a feeling that Texas is going to win. But I don't feel confident about the feeling.
Mississippi right now, 7-point favorites at Mississippi State. I'm looking for some games with some meaning here. Georgia now 14 at Georgia Tech, as Georgia Tech just pooped all over themselves last week at home against Pitt. A&M and Texas right now, A&M -2 there. Florida State will breeze right over that. Vandy, 3-point underdogs at Tennessee. Ohio State now down to 10 at the Big House against Michigan. I want to scroll a little further here. Where are we here? Your Arkansas now is +2.5 against Missouri. Under over only 55. Oh my God. That's saying that Missouri's not going to score 30, which I find hard to believe there. But I was looking for it and my eyes aren't working. I wanted the latest number there. And give me 1 second and I will find it. Hopefully. Oregon only 6.5 at Washington. And I was looking for the Alabama number, for the up to the second number, and my eyes, oh, there it is right there, 7:30. It's a 6. There's so many things that could happen. Alabama loses, they're out. They're gone. Alabama loses, they're out. If Ohio State stumbles, they're still in. They'll still be a top 4 team. They'll still get the bye. They'll get that extra week off. They don't have to go to the title game, or I'm not even sure. Maybe they still do. But my point to you is, we haven't had a train wreck in a long, long time. Is this finally the weekend that we get a train wreck?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're due for one. One that I'm looking at is, and you rattled off a lot of games. I'm going to try to go back from memory. Uh, let's get the big game out of the way that really doesn't mean anything because I think Ohio State absolutely dominates. I think this is an under game. I don't I don't think Ohio State's putting up 45 points or anything. Probably like 30 to 17. Going to be a pretty boring game, 28-17, something like that, around the number. But I do think Ohio State wins. And then you talked about Oregon. I took the 7 with Washington. The model actually really likes Washington. Shocker. Me and Sean Alvarez were talking last week. And by the way, recap just to get this out of the way, a little laundry list. 15-7 on top picks for the model last week. The number one pick at 74% pick probability, it loved Washington. And I think I even said on the show, Washington has been the team that I can't get figured out all season. We went with it. We bet them. They absolutely steamrolled UCLA, I think by like 28 or 31. That's what the model projected. It was like a 11-point spread, 10-point spread. Model picked it at 21. I was like, oh my gosh, this is only going to go one way, I'm sure. But no, Washington does it. So hats off. Good job, numbers. Anyways, let's go back to Oregon, Washington. I think Oregon's big win was last week. I think Dan going up to Seattle, that hadn't been good for him. And while it's not Kalen DeBoer, it's not Michael Penix, the quarterback is still really talented for Washington. And I think it could cause fits for that defense of Oregon. As good as they've been, this is going to be a run first. Both teams are going to be trying to run the ball, establish line of scrimmage. May kind of look like a Big Ten game doesn't feel like a Big Ten game being out on the West Coast. But I think this Oregon team is legit, but I do think that they struggle a little bit on the road, and this one stays tight. The Iron Bowl. Okay. So you brought it up a couple times now. You're of the opinion that Auburn could really throw a wrench in this thing for Bama. You think they're a live dog?
I think I have seen this in the past. What was it? The 61-yard field goal punt return back after the miss. This is schedule. Records don't matter. And all the pressure in the world is on Alabama. And I think they're starting to leak a little oil here. And the fact is, if they lose, they're out. And here you got a live dog at home, fat after Thanksgiving. 6.5, 7-point dog. I think Auburn. Now, listen, Ty's going to be able to throw the ball all over the field. We know that. It's Auburn. Can they play keep away?
Yeah, so here's the problem. Auburn really good at stopping the run. Alabama sucks at running the ball. 105th to 1st in defensive efficiency. You look at defense, pass, 6th. Auburn's offense, 127th. These are two completely different. So Alabama is going to be trying to throw the ball on offense. Auburn's going to be trying to run it. That's it. And depending on the pace of play, Alabama moves at such a higher rate. I get the crowd's going to be crazy in Auburn. You've got the home field advantage. I think Alabama wins this by at least a touchdown. I just trust Ty Simpson more in this spot. I don't think Auburn's going to be able to do much on offense. And I see Kane Womack is one of the finalists for the Broyles Awards for that defense there, being the defensive coordinator of Bama. I think he's got a good game plan because I think Alabama knows that Auburn is a very one-dimensional offense. They're just trying to run the ball. And on defense, they're trying to stop the run. Well, Alabama doesn't give a crap about trying to run the ball, which is crazy.
It just
factory that produced
And
Derrick Henry, Eddie Lacy.
Auburn has struggled. I know that.
Yeah.
And again, but this is their Super Bowl. There's no Cam Newton. There's no Bo Jackson.
But the one thing that they've hung their hat on is stopping the run and playing tough defense. So can that defense do that? Maybe, but not if Alabama's throwing it over their heads all game.
And I'll say this. I'll throw the fly in the ointment. They can't defend the pass, but if they can put pressure on Ty Simpson,
yeah,
they got to put pressure on Ty Simpson, and they got to stay in the game. They can't be down 21-3. The game's over. It's a wrap.
Exactly.
Okay. But if they can get a turnover, if they can get out ahead, now as this clock goes from 60 minutes to 30 minutes to last quarter, and we're in the ball game here, then the pressure's really on Coach DeBoer. And listen, you know this as well as anyone here watching our shows. This Alabama offense is night and day, home and the road.
Yeah. Yeah, Ty Simpson, though, has been good. Can he carry that over and do it on the road? So Auburn looked good last week. I think the Bear was on Mercer plus the 28 against Auburn. Auburn ended up blowing them out. Auburn really struggled against Kentucky, which just baffles me. But I'm pulling up Alabama right now. I mean, you lose to a good defense in Oklahoma. So there's the pathway right there. Auburn and Oklahoma are two of the best defenses in the SEC. And Alabama lost to Oklahoma at home. On the road, South Carolina, you squeak out a win there. On the road at Missouri, squeak out a 3-point win there. You may be onto something.
Well, again, we haven't.
I will say, Georgia, they beat Georgia, and that I think, to me, makes me more of a believer in Bama. I think I would trust Bama more right now than Georgia. I think if you're talking about a team to not get upset, give me Bama to beat Auburn over Georgia Tech beating Georgia.
Well,
then I feel more comfortable. I feel more comfortable betting Alabama to beat Auburn than I do betting Georgia to beat Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech plus 14 is a live dog. You remember the game last year.
The look-ahead line was 4.5. Then it was 6. And everyone remembers Georgia Tech was peaking. They were looking ahead to this week while Pitt says, all right, thank you very much, and just steamrolled them. So again, that number is so inflated. It's embarrassing how inflating that is. Let me talk one more game, then we're going to get to the Westgate SuperBook card. Your thoughts on where your eyes and Sean's eyes are, of course. Big game, Pitt and Miami. Miami 6-point favorites at Pitt. Miami needs this win. Obviously, Pitt would love nothing better than to knock them out of the playoffs here. Pitt just looked like world beaters. I thought Dan Marino was playing last week for Pitt. They scored early and often, and they were just ready to play. Tough to duplicate that. Last game, home game. Pitt upset alert here against Miami, or does Miami say, slow your roll? We're going to this dance here.
I think it's going to be a tight game. Miami has to win this, but I think it would do the playoff committee a lot of favors if they didn't. I don't think the ACC should get two teams in, and I think of the most questionable ones, I think it's probably Miami, even though they're the ones with the best win. Playoff committee they have got this all screwed up. And the fact that the athletic director for Arkansas is out there running the show, doing 6-7 on on live television. Like, can we just stop being the butt of all jokes? It's freaking embarrassing. But anyways, their whole explanation of a good win or a bad loss, Miami's got the best win on the board of teams that verse good wins and bad losses. Like, they beat Notre Dame. That they should be ranked ahead of Notre Dame. It is what it is. But are they better than Notre Dame right now? Absolutely not. I think you line them up on a neutral. Notre Dame probably wins this game now by 10 to 14 points. But to answer your question, Pittsburgh, I think that was the spot of all spots last week with Pitt getting +2.5 at Georgia Tech. I went on Sports Grid. By the way, you may have had something to do with that. I think they the producer mentioned your name when he reached out, but I went on and I was looking at the late slate, picked 3 games, went 2-3 or 2-1, and one of them was Pitt. I just felt really good about that spot for them. They steamroll them, great. Tap myself on the back. I think Miami goes up there and wins by a touchdown this weekend, though.
And I'll close this segment with this is on our plays. I think we go 3-2 on Saturday, and my top 2 plays, the numbers weren't adding up, and I crossed them off, and I sent my couple of my colleagues the list. I had my 2 top plays: Notre Dame team total over 24.5 first half and over 42.5 full game, and they were up 49-0 at halftime, and I'm like, oh my god, and I scratched. I would, oh my god, they scored 3 touchdowns, and the offense never stepped on the damn field. Yeah. And so, anyways, yes, Sports Grid, the producers, I love all the producers. I'm glad they got you on there. Hats off to them. They work their asses off. I've been in their spots trying to find guests, and especially qualified guests. Thank you for stepping in. Westgate SuperBook card, where you guys stand. We're coming to the finish line here. Thoughts on this week's card there, Matt?
Yeah, I haven't seen the card yet. It usually comes out Wednesday afternoons, but some games that I'm eyeing here that we haven't talked about. Wake Forest, I think they handle Duke here. I'm really a believer in this Wake Forest team. And then you go over to Indiana. They haven't really punched somebody in the mouth lately, and I feel like everybody's kind of been punching Purdue in the mouth. 27 was this Circa opener. I haven't looked at it, what it is, because at this point it's irrelevant for the contest because they'll hang their own line. But I'm leaning towards an Indiana blowout in that one. And then Iowa State, looking at Oklahoma State, Matt Campbell, he was mentioned in this Arkansas head coaching job. I think Campbell has done a good job here rallying the troops. They get a good cover and win last week. I think they do it again. This Oklahoma State team is ready to mail it in for the season. They had a good showing last weekend, played a little tighter of a game. I think they ended up covering as a big dog, but I think they let go of the rope this week. And then Vanderbilt at Tennessee. I think Vandy is going to walk into Knoxville and win this game. I have not seen enough out of Tennessee to be a believer. In all of our advanced metrics, this is an Alabama win or a Vanderbilt win by 1.1. So if you can get the 3.5, 2, I think Vandy comes in and wins. And then SMU Cal, we make SMU -15. It's SMU -10 to 12. I would assuming Circa opened it at 10. Justin Wilcox gets fired. Ron Rivera. Who knew that he was the GM for Cal athletic program? I didn't until I saw the interview. I don't know what they're going to have left in the tank here. Rhett Lashley's kind of got SMU playing better here lately. Big win last week for SMU. Easy cover over Louisville without Miller Moss. So I think SMU continues that role. And then Arkansas, Missouri. Look, Arkansas, I think, is like 1-11 against Eli Drinkwitz. This is this is a Missouri money line play for me. I don't see how in the world, if anyone has watched a Razorback game this year, if Arkansas has the lead going into the fourth quarter, cash out your 401k and bet Missouri. This is going to be a boring game, I feel like, to watch. It's Arkansas probably going to start backup quarterback KJ Jackson. Taylor Green dealing with some injuries. So you've got like a redshirt freshman, redshirt sophomore. I'm not sure what KJ is classification-wise, versus Ahmad Hardy, who is going to be able to run the ball. Guess what? Arkansas can't stop the run. Can't really stop the pass either. So whether it be Pabula or the backup quarterback, Missouri's going to be able to put up points. And I don't know if Arkansas can do it. They looked absolutely gassed against Texas last weekend. A good defense. Missouri's got a pretty good defense as well. I see no way that Arkansas wins this game. So Missouri money line is my favorite play on this card.
Roll has been going the whole time. Everyone knows to find you at Grissom on X at NCAA Insiders. But as we always wrap up this segment, tell them where they can find all your work, Mr. Grissom.
MattGrissom.com. All of our weekly simulations, my power ratings, and all of my best bets are tracked there in the spreadsheet. So go check them out. Action begins. Well, actually started yesterday. Little Maction at 3:30 in the afternoon. Love it. Models 2-0 ATS already this week. And it loves those midweek games, man. It can just pick them. But, yeah, all the picks, the higher probabilities, it's all there on the weekly sim. So go check it out, mattgrissom.com, or the link in my Twitter bio.
Want to thank everyone watching and listening. If you haven't already, do us a small little favor. Jump on over to YouTube at East Coast Sports Investors. Follow us, subscribe. It's free. We're trying to get to almost 12,000 live subscribers there. Come on back to X. Follow us at EC Sports Invest. And, of course, Mr. Grissom at Grissom on X and NCAA Insiders as we go around the globe yearly with Matt, whether it's, of course, college football, college basketball, and, of course, the real ticket, NCAA baseball, which will be starting very, very soon. Ron Marmoletsky next, the final show before Thanksgiving. He'll be here in about 15 minutes. Go grab yourself a ham sandwich, and we'll see you soon. Stay tuned.